Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Um, yeah, as you can probably tell, I have this horrible cold, and there's no way I'm going to subject anybody else to this cold except my husband, who also has a horrible cold, which is why he's also not in the Zen Center. But thank you, everybody, for your practice. And thank you, Jane, for your wonderful talk about form. Form is actually liberating because then you don't have to ask yourself what you like and you don't like. You just do it. Just do it. And then that liberates your mind and you can see what's actually there instead of getting stuck on what you like and you don't like and what you feel like doing and what you don't feel like doing. So thank you very much for your talk, Jane. Are there any questions? Yes, Asaf.
I would like to indicate that there is a Zen master on the Zen Cafe on Sunday. He was very close to Master Susang. He indicated that Master Susang understood that in the Western society, the cloth and stuff may cause some problem. He said it's not a must. It can be something to negotiate or whatever. And if somebody tells me to wear a woman's shoes, it doesn't mean I just need to wear women's shoes. We live in society. We've got some things that are ordinary. Like in Korea, it was ordinary to wear this cloth. So if you want, you can wear them. If you come to visit my house, you can wear whatever you want. I don't care. If I go to, let's say, to a house of people, like there are men who wear like women. So if I go to the house, it doesn't mean I need to respect them and wear like a woman. I just can't respect them. Buddhism talks about pain and not about clothes. This is my opinion. It's not me, it's my pain saying it because I live in Israel and wearing different kind of clothes may cause problems and even killing. So I don't want to get involved in it. I prefer to in Israel to wear very simple cloth, not like religious Jewish, not like religious Arabs, not like Buddhist, just simple. So it doesn't have to be, you have to do whatever you think. For me, it causes a lot of pain, this.
So let me talk about that. When I first went to Cambridge Zen Center, when I started to practice, and I refused to wear a robe. And I refused to wear a robe because I grew up Jewish. And when you grow up Jewish, the men wear taluses, and now women also, the non-Orthodox women will also wear taluses. And you wear a talus, the talus is like this scarf, sort of shawl, prayer shawl it's called. And you wear a talus after you get a bar mitzvah, or bat mitzvah. So I felt I had not earned wearing a robe. So I was coming from that place. And the people who ran the Cambridge Zen Center at the time, um, they said, okay, no problem. And so I would come to Cambridge Zen Center, I'd be the only one without a robe. And then I realized I was sitting there and I was thinking, do I look skinny in this sweater? Is this color good on me? There's a guy I had kind of a crush on, and I say to myself, does he think I'm cute? And then I began to realize the point of the robe. The point of a robe was not that it was this thing of honor that you'd earned. I mean, these little brown things, that's what you earn, and the long robes, you earn those. But the point of the robe was so that you wouldn't be thinking about how you looked. You wouldn't be worried about, what people were thinking about you physically. So it served a really good purpose. And then I started wearing, the robe, the short robe. And that's just, you don't have to argue with me. I'm just saying that's just where I'm coming from. On the other hand, if I go out on the street, I'm obviously wearing my Buddhist clothes. It's not appropriate. So it's just everybody has to find what they're going to do. But I do encourage people, whatever the environment you're in, as much as possible to see what's happening, and as much as possible when it's not unethical, as much as possible when it's not unethical, to not pull yourself away. Now, when it is unethical, you have to speak up, obviously. You know, if I'm in a crowd and they're shouting racist things, I'm not going to shout racist things. I'm going to tell them not to. I hope. You know, I've never found myself in such a crowd. But it's a difficult question. You know, it's a difficult question. What you do, you know, when to blend in, when to not blend in. These are difficult issues. But yeah, at the Zen Center, the point is to just take away this what do I feel like doing mind, this desire for things, and this desire against things. And when you can take away desire mind in whatever way you can do it, when you can take away desire mind, then your job becomes actually clear. So if you find yourself in a group of people who are doing things or saying things that you realize are wrong, and then everyone wants to be liked. Everyone has the just desire mind to be liked. You know, that's one of the five hindrances. It's called, we shorthand it, we call it fame. But what it means is to want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked, so that makes it very hard to speak out. It makes it very hard to do anything because the people around you won't like you. So our forms are about taking away that mind that is looking at what you like and what you don't like, and whether people like you or whether people don't like you, is taking away that mind so that you can act directly and clearly. That's what it's about. And, you know, everyone has their own way of relating to it. But that's what the point is. That's what the purpose is. So thank you, Elsa. Are there any other questions?
A question about together action.
Yeah,
I thought one meaning of that was also that, we're all doing the same thing. So we're just
yeah,
not separateness.
yeah.
I don't know whether that's correct or not. What are the various meanings of together action?
Yeah, together action is the same thing. Together action means putting away your like and dislike mind. So on retreats, on multi-day retreats, we have these formal meals, and you have these four bowls, and the rice goes into the lower left-hand bowls, and the clean water goes for washing bowls goes to the upper right-hand bowls. And you don't sit there thinking, I think I want to put my rice in another bowl this time. You know, it's very clear. And everybody does this together. And also, you know, the food comes around and you take the food and you don't sit there and think, I think I want some butter on my noodles. There's no butter, no butter on your noodles, you know? And we do have a condiment tray. You do get to decide whether you want soy sauce or not. But a lot of the decision making is taken out. And that's what together action is about. It's about taking away the non-important decisions that take up so much of our time and so much of our life, so that we can have a clear perception, and then we can make the important decisions, which usually we don't bother with. We're too afraid, it's too difficult. So usually the really important things, we just kind of let them slide. And we waste our time on how much soy sauce we want to put on our rice or whatever it is, or complaining about the cooking or whatever it is. We waste our time with that. But, you know, everybody gets up at the same time on retreat. Everybody bows together. Everybody chants together. Everybody sits together. Everybody does work period together. Everybody goes on break together. Everything happens together. You don't get to say, oh, I wonder what time, you know, I feel like taking a nap. If you're going to take a nap, you know what times you're going to take a nap because it's in the schedule, you know? So together action is about taking away this desire mind, and then you can really become one with other people. And you're not separate from them. Really become together. This, you can really see this when we're chanting together sometimes, especially on a chanting retreat. And on Zoom, the people on Zoom, you can't hear them chanting. So I love being on Zoom because then I get to sing harmony and nobody gets mad at me because I love singing harmony, but I can't sing harmony in the Dharma room because people get mad at me. They say, "Oh, I can't keep a tune. You're messing me up." But when everybody is in the same room together, like on a chanting retreat, we call it keto, which means energy way. When you're in a chanting retreat and everyone's chanting together, and sometimes loud and sometimes soft. You have a leader who's sort of moving people through it. And when that happens, it's just this amazing thing. And sometimes, when you have like a full day chanting retreat, which we have not had in like decades, but when you have a full day or even a multi-day chanting retreat, at the end of it, the energy in the room becomes so strong. It's almost like another being is like sitting in the middle of the room. I mean, I'm not a woo-woo kind of person, rational and scientific, but so it really feels like there's this energy that comes together. There's just like in a marriage, whether it's a bad marriage or a good marriage, the marriage is an entity in itself. And when everyone's doing things together, then that becomes an entity in itself. That energy becomes an entity in itself. And if we can bring that kind of energy to our life, when we're going to the grocery store, we're not separate from the checkout person. And we're going to, see, nobody goes to the bank anymore. When we call an Uber, we're not separate from the driver. And if we live in a big city and we get on a bus or a train, we're not separate from the people around us. It's really wonderful because most of the time we sit around and we're just, wrapped in our own little world. And we can't see. We just can't see what's there. So together action is to help us, you know, break the wall of self and become infinite in time and space. It says in the Temple Rules, if you can break through the wall of self, you become infinite in time and space. So that's what it's like. It's breaking through the wall of self, becoming infinite in time and space. Which, when I first heard that, there was this Star Trek a long time ago, a very early episode when they had really terrible, like terrible special effects, and Captain Kirk fell in love with some, creature who you knew was female because it had a female voice, but it was sort of just a lot of light. Oh, it was so cheesy. It was just this big triangle of light, sort of shimmering. And she, I guess, wanted Kirk to become one of, she was going to make Kirk a being like her, and they were going to, conquer the universe. But Kirk, of course, didn't do that because it was not the American way, I guess. And so I thought of it as, if you break through the wall of self and you become infinite in time and space, you become like this kind of shimmering creature who can take over the universe. But that's not what it means. It means just reaching out and being there. That's what it means. You break the wall of self, and then you can, like Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, you can hear the sound of the world. You can hear the suffering around you. You can reach out. That's what it means. So, thank you for your question. And we're a little over, but if there's one more question, I'll take it. And if not, we'll do announcements.